A new era of Dragon Ball has just been ushered. This new era is Dragon Ball Super. Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I'm going to be your host, Blackenfist, and I literally just got done watching Dragon Ball Super. And here are my thoughts, my analysis, and what I think this is gonna all turn out. I mean, just point blank, just watching this, I mean, especially when the intro came on and the episode really got going down. I mean, just as a Dragon Ball fan and maybe putting my less critical faculties on the back burner, I couldn't help but just get a warm feeling inside while watching this episode in the beginning and then toward the end when Mr. Satan was giving Goku the money. I mean, it just as a Dragon Ball fan, it's just amazing to know that even more is coming on the way. But I'll give you a brief summary. I don't want to give it too much of a summary, but there isn't much to say because most of this episode is just catching up with the characters that we've known for so long and what their lives are. Goku trying to earn some money, Mr. Satan up to his same old publicity stunts, Gohan and Videl getting married, Goten and Trunks trying to look for a gift for Videl. And honestly, the Goten and Trunks bits did kind of remind me a lot of early Dragon Ball, honestly. But in terms of plot-wise, it was just really catching up with the characters. The music of Dragon Ball Super will be done by Norihiro Sumitomo, who did the Battle of Gods and Fakatsu no F soundtracks, and quite honestly, I'll have to listen to more of the soundtrack he's doing for Dragon Ball Super to really judge it. But the highlight definitely was his orchestratal version of Chala Hechala, which played at the beginning of the episode, which really brings in home that, you know, this is a series that, you know, is coming back, and we're trying to remind you of all the things that have come before it, and it does that in musical form by just playing his version of Chala Hechala, which, you know, it kind of did give me the warm fuzzies, I'll be honest with you, even though I'm a bigger fan of We Gotta Power. But regardless of that, the intros and outro, I mean, as much as I loved both of them, I really loved the outro to this one. I mean, one thing I always liked was the outro to the Yosun Goku and his friends return special, which was, I believe, Orange Hero, and this outro for Dragon Ball Super really reminds me a lot, in a lot of ways, of that one, which I really like, so that's a good thing in my opinion. The animation of this is, quite honestly, not the greatest it could be. It's not terrible, it gets the job done. It'll be interesting, since there wasn't many action sequences in this episode, it'll be interesting how the animation will be later on, especially in very action-intensive scenes. But I guess the biggest knock, even though I did have the warm fuzzies and I was kind of getting a little emotional because I was a Dragon Ball fan watching it for the first time, I guess the biggest knock I could really give is that in the beginning of the episode, they had a flashback of what happened in the Buu Saga, and they took clips directly from the Z anime, not reanimating these scenes at all. They just took clips directly from it, which honestly just seemed a little lazy in my opinion, and hopefully doesn't become a trend in this series. But that's really the only knock I could really give on this. Besides that, really, it looks really promising. I know a lot of guys who are really into the action-oriented parts of Dragon Ball might be a little disappointed with this, but honestly, this is all, I think most people will understand that this is all setting up something else. Goku's off to King Kai's planet to go train. And in my humble opinion, I think he's going to go train, and that's when Beerus comes down to meet him, like in Battle of Gods. But we'll see. When I finished watching the episode, honestly, the episode gave me hope for Dragon Ball Super, and that something great could happen later on in this series. That this series definitely has a lot of potential, because of just all the characters. I mean, the episode was catching up with characters, and it has such a high cast count right now with so many different characters. Hopefully it does not pull a GT and completely just neuters the cast that they could have potentially utilized. I mean, come on, You know, Quaman always likes to joke that GT is called Goku time. You know, when they could have used so many of the other characters, and Dragon Ball Super has the potential to be one of those series where it just has a very colorful and interesting cast to flesh out everything. But those are my thoughts. I'm really hoping to see the second episode. Of course, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I was kind of hooked before I even saw it, but I hope to see what they do with this series. And also, I'm not really sure whether I'm going to keep doing these episode summaries. I don't know. I kind of feel like if I come back here every week to do an episode summary for Dragon Ball Super, that'll kind of be a little boring for you guys just to hear me talk about what happened in the episode. I'm not saying I won't do it, but the thing is, if I don't feel like I have anything interesting to say, then I won't make a video. But those are my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super. What can I say? I got the warm fuzzies watching this thing, which is, it was kind of similar to Battle of Gods when I first watched that. But honestly, maybe even greater, because the thing is, with Battle of Gods, when it was over, it was over. It was a movie. With this episode, when it was over, I know more is to come, and potentially a lot more. And that's what really gave me the fuzzies. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. You know, I think the series has a lot of potential, and hopefully they don't squander it. But as always, guys, I'm Blackenfist, and I'm out, man.